guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel. It's so nice to see everybody. I know I can't physically see you, but I feel like we're all somehow all connected in this virtual world that we live in. So thank you for stopping by. I'm so excited to see all of you. Like last time, actually, I don't have a cardigan because I just want to be as open and honest as possible. And today, I guess I wanted to talk about the topic of fear. So I think fear and being scared, are scary things. There's no doubt about that. And fear can manifest itself mentally as well as physically. Fear can come in many different forms. But what I find for myself, at least, the most important is that for me, there's like three main types of fears sort of that comes up. So I sort of like wrote it down for myself. So the first one is like fear of failure and fear of not meeting those expectations that you set for yourself. So I often have a fear of like, what if I try something, but then I don't succeed? Or what if I try something and it doesn't work out the way I want it to be? Or what if I try something and it happen exactly what I had envisioned in mind? So I find that I have a lot of fear of those expectations and those outcomes that I have for myself. So that's something that I've noticed and that I'm aware of, and I've been trying to tell myself that, Michelle, if you don't ever try or if you don't ever take the first step, you never know. So I've been pushing myself outside my boundaries, obviously somewhat within my comfort zone, but just pushing myself and extending myself a little more. To not be so fearful of what may happen, what might happen. Those are things that will happen, and I think that I'm trying to push myself outside of my bubble a little bit more, to try newer things that I wouldn't have imagined trying because I'm held back by my own fear. And sometimes it's not about the fear as well. I just wanted to add on here, it could be that you are looking for support that you need, whether it's from your family, your friends, your partner, whoever it may be. I think sometimes we all just need a little bit support, our own support system to push us through that fear. So I just wanted to make a note there as well. Secondly, one of my other fears is fear of letting people down. As like whether it's your friends or your family, they have certain expectations that they expect of you, based on how you behaved in the past or based on your interactions with them. So I think another stem of my fear comes from fear of letting people down and fear of not being able to, I guess, give them the answer that they need or whatever they're looking for. I think that's also another fear of mine, is that not being able to give them whatever they expect of you. But that has something to do with you. I just wanted to say that, that's their reaction sort of thing, and how they react to it, whatever it is that you choose to do. Is sort of their reaction, and it should be separate from your own fear. But there is this fear, especially I am a people pleaser. There is this fear of like not being able to please the person that I want to please. But you really have to bring it back to yourself and ask yourself, is this something that I really want to do, or am I making this decision to please other people? So I think that's something that I've been reflecting on more lately as well, is that why do you fear letting people down? Do you fear it because you actually fear it, or is it because you're just fear of letting people down? In that case, if you're just fear of letting people down but you're happy with your decision and your choice, I still think that you should continue and go ahead with that. I know it's easier said than done, trust me. I know, for coming from a total people pleaser, I absolutely understand. But I think it's just more looking within yourselves to see and asking yourself those questions, like, why are you making this decision? Are you doing it to please others, or are you doing it for yourself? And the answer should always be, you are doing this for yourself. Again, I do know it's harder said than done, but I just wanted to sort of throw it out there in case you wanted to dabble in it a little bit. And my third and last fear, which sort of ties into all the first and second fears that I talked about, is like fear of the unknown, right? Like, what is going to happen if I make this decision? Like all the what ifs, and like what's going to happen in my future, like what's that's going to look like, and like the consequences of your decisions. All of that is sort of like fear of the unknown, not knowing and not having that control of what will happen. I think that's also very scary, to be honest, with you, about fear of the unknowns. And sometimes, I think it's just a matter of reframing it. So it's not that you're fearful of what will happen in the future, but sort of like whatever happened may not be a negative thing. It can bring new opportunities, whatever that may be, and things like that. So I think it's important when we are fearful of the unknown and the uncertainties to bring it back and say, and reframe it and think of it in a positive way. Like, what if, if I make this decision, all these positives will come out of it instead of all these negatives. So I think it's just reframing and rethinking about your position and your mindset, to not be as fearful about what it may be, and just trying to, be who you are, your authentic self. I think it's hard, being 100% your authentic self all the time. It's definitely something that I need to work on, and which is why I'm sharing with you guys. So I think that, as long as you keep trying to be your true self, I think that's the most important. And I also want to say that through one of my therapy sessions about a year ago, my therapist told me something that still sticks with me today. She told me that as I was telling her my story, I was like crying, I was upset, and she told me, "Michelle, you are seen and you are heard." And those words I have never forgotten to this day, because it was so impactful for me. Because sometimes you may feel lost in the crowd, or you may feel alone, or whatever it may be, but you are never alone, and you're always seen and heard. And that was something that I needed to hear. But so today, actually, whoever's watching this video, I wrote a little blurb in case you needed to hear something from somebody else. And I just wanted to tell you guys that you're all loved, you're heard, and you're seen. You are strong and you're courageous. You're fierce and you're bright. You're brave, you're driven, and you continue to do amazing things day in and day out. And you can do anything you put your mind towards. So yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts with you, this little blurb, in case anybody needs to hear it today. And I honestly mean it from the bottom of my heart. I truly believe that, don't let fear, stop you from doing something that you want to do. Again, I know it's easier said than done, but I think it's the awareness of your fears that you can first continue working on them and being your most truest self. And yeah, I think that's super important. On that note, I also wanted to share that I am wearing Everything's Janny's new sweater. It says "Shine Girl Shine," which I absolutely adore, and I've been wearing it for like the last few days since my kind friend Janny dropped it off to me on the weekend over Easter. So thank you to Janny for that. I really love the sweatshirt. I think that on another topic, I think that it's important to have a positive mindset, a mindset of positivity and of growth, because honestly, the words that we pick and use in our daily lives are really impactful, right? Like even the choice of words that you pick. For example, if you say "I will try this," or that's different. That's a whole different story than "I can do this," right? The will and the can are the big factors here. So I think it's learning to train your mind and train, your mindset to be more positive, to encourage yourself, to love yourself more, to push yourself to do things outside of your comfort zone. Like I'm pushing myself to do a video, which I've actually, to be honest, I feel like I'm getting the hang of it now. It's not as weird as it is when I first started, and I actually decided to know I don't actually do retakes anymore. Before I used to do retakes, and then 15 takes later, I was still filming, but now this is just going to be one retake, my whole authentic self with my ums and my everything in between. So yeah, I just wanted to say, remind you guys all that you guys are all loved and you're heard and you're seen, and you can do anything that you put your mind to. And yeah, I hope that you guys are all having a great week. I know it's Wednesday. I'm slightly delayed, but I just wanted to wish you a great rest of the week and a fabulous weekend. And I hope to see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.